To the lead, I'm Jake Tapper. In world news, 1 year ago, terrorists attacked U.S. diplomatic posts in Benghazi, Libya. 4 Americans were killed. The public heard contradictory and, as we'd later learn, blatantly false explanations. But the next day, in one of the most heavily scrutinized speeches of his career, the president vowed he would get to the bottom of it all.
Today, we mourn for more Americans who represent the very best of the United States of America. We will not waver in our commitment to see that justice is done for this terrible act, and make no mistake, justice will be done.
But today we have little indication of what that justice might look like. The White House and the State Department struggled to give the public an explanation, but ultimately labeled the attack terrorism. Although several suspects in Libya have been charged, no one is currently in custody. 4 State Department officials originally placed on administrative leave have returned to their jobs with no other punishments. The lack of answers has become a partisan debate, and 4 separate congressional committees will hold hearings investigating what happened in Benghazi in the coming weeks. But for family members of those who died, Benghazi is not just a headline, not just a partisan story. Pat Smith, mother of Sean Smith, joins me now from San Diego. Pat, thanks for joining us again. I am sure that every day of the past year has been difficult for you, very difficult. But I'm wondering, what did it feel like today when you woke up this morning, this horrible, horrible anniversary?
Well, I'm hoping that I'd get some relief by now, but so far it hasn't happened. Benghazi and 9/11 seems to stick around so hard, so much. You know, it's funny. I just realized this afternoon that my son, the one that was killed in Benghazi, was actually the one that took over the airplanes when they were grounded when the original 9/11 hit the buildings. He happened to be in the right place at the right time with the right classification, and he called me and says, "Hey, Mom, just think, if the president wants to go flying anywhere, he's got to ask me." So I've had a connection with him for quite some time, I guess.
When you say you thought you would have some relief by now, what do you mean? Do you mean you thought you would see justice to the perpetrators? What exactly were you looking for?
Answers. I am so afraid that nobody's come up to take responsibility for what Hillary did, that she will become president and more of our people are going to be murdered and thrown to the dogs because nothing has happened. Nobody has done anything. Everybody says, what difference does it make anyway?
President Obama said that justice would be done. What does justice look like for you?
This isn't justice. I'm sorry, that's the wrong word. That's the wrong word. It's not justice at all.
CNN's Arwa Damon was able to track down one of the suspects charged in the attack. He said the U.S. government had not been in touch with him. Let's play some of that.
Did anyone from the American or the Libyan government side try and get in touch with you?
Never.
Never?
Never.
And if they tried, are you ready to meet with them?
Yes, no problem. But not as an interrogation, as a conversation like the one we are having with you now.
So Ahmed Abu Khatala is one of the chief suspects in the Benghazi attacks, and nobody from the Libyan government or the United States government has had a conversation with him. What's your response?
I heard this months ago.
Yeah.
I heard this interview months ago, and I've been waiting for something to happen, and as previous, nothing happened. They don't want to do anything. They don't want it shown. They don't want it talked about. They don't want it mentioned. All they want to do is cover their own butts. And I don't think it's very fair to the American public in any way, shape, or form.
You're going to be speaking on Capitol Hill at a Government Oversight and Reform Committee hearing. What do you plan on saying?
I don't know. I just got the invitation, the actual invitation today, and I don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to say. Whenever I talk, I speak from my heart at the time, and I don't know how I feel. I want Hillary to come up and stand up for what happened. I want her to do that. I want the government to make her answer. Just answer the simple questions she was asked. She won't do it. I don't know why. In fact, I don't even care why anymore. I just want her to do it. Stand up and admit when you blow it.
And she blew it, in your view, because there wasn't adequate security for your son and the others at the compounds in Benghazi? Is that how she blew it?
That's one of the reasons. That's the main reason, yes. And it was her department. All she ever says is nobody told her or she didn't know what happened. I know for a fact now that she was on the telephone with one of our people in Tripoli when this was happening. So why couldn't we send somebody to help these poor people that are stuck on the road? Glenn and Ty, they were just sitting there as not only as sitting ducks, but I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
Pat Smith, again, our condolences. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.